Now, one of the problems in many video training courses that people do not talk about is the fact that when you're trying to deal with technology, video technology learning, it tends to keep you from being able to do good video design. So when you have a video tool that you really know how to use, or it's very easy, it allows you to focus on being more effective with your videos. So I want to go over some of the things that I was able to do because I was just very easily using the process that I just showed you in the last video where I'm able to do quick searches. Because as I went through this video, I was looking at the subject. In most cases, you'll see that, as I mentioned, in this particular case, I took the basics of this particular subject. This says, make a joyful noise all the earth. So I looked for a picture of the earth. And one of the things that I'm doing here, notice that I'm doing simple contrast. This is orange. So I did a opposite, I did a blue. So I'm looking for things. Now there's an interesting kind of blend. You want continuity, but you also want some visual interest or contrast. And so in order to get my continuity, I use the same font throughout the entire animation or video. To make it different, I was able to use the imagery to be different. And in order to kind of keep it consistent, though, I do have mostly photographic imagery, which feels natural. It's the sort of thing that we see when we're watching the news or something like that. We see a bunch of different types of images, and so it feels fine. But I'm also taking advantage of people. People like to see people. And so in this particular case, not only is this beautiful girl, it's rain, it's wet, she's wearing a very colorful dress, but she's got this delighted smile. And so I took advantage of a couple things. First of all, the text was over here in the center, so I'm moving it around. I'm moving it to the left. And then the next one, it's a man with a different color background. One thing that, his hair is different. I really tried to be as different as I could. His eyes are closed. His expression is different. The font is the same, but it's in a different spot. And so, whereas she's over here and the text is over here, I've mixed it up. He's over to the left and the text is to the right. Moving it around gets basically people aren't able to get lulled into something, and so they're continually engaged. Now, in this particular case, I'm trying to support the content with an image, so I'm trying to get the image to help you remember or go with the text. So my goal here is to help people memorize this, and so just giving a visual cue. So I'm able to support what my video is about better, because I'm able to do the animation part of it so quickly. I can focus on the other parts of making my video effective, and that's really kind of the point I'm trying to make. But it's just kind of going on. You see, notice that I'm mixing up the types of animations, thereby again maintaining interest. I do reuse the different types of animations, but I wait. I don't do it the same over and over again. So in other words, I didn't use this effect in the next scene. Now, here's another contrast. This is a nature scene where there's no human interest, and that's put in between human and human. So I just create a slight bit of contrast so that to re-engage the interest in seeing human beings. And so that's another little trick. Another thing here is that there's so many humans and so big that I've got to, in order for the text to be seen, I really need for it to be kind of over something that overshadows. But there's so many people that they're generic faces. We just want to know that they're humans and we can relate with them. Another excellent thing about this is they're all smiling, so their faces are very engaging. And we just like to see that. It's something that's good. So once again, I got a little contrast, and I've got some animals instead of human beings. But another little trick here is that we all this animal is facing the direction of this, and we all tend to kind of look in the direction of an animal or a person. So it directs the eye to this, which is just a small little subtle thing, just a little small subtle trick. And as I go, I keep doing that. This time I've used a couple of human figures, so this time I'm only just using a hand. I could have, there's all kind of, if I did a search for that, I could have found something much more with human beings in it, but it's contrasty. It's creating some some difference. And so once again, in this case, it's a, it goes with what I'm saying, but there's it's contrast. So it's not human, so it's creating that contrast as I move, and so forth. And as I go, I tend to take advantage of stuff like that. Whereas, like if I find that I'm using the center area a lot, then I try to mix it up after a while. See, there's a bunch where I've done that, and then, and really I've done it too many times. So I really needed to go off to the left here. I think I can't recall thinking about that, but after 4 kind of text effects in the center of the screen, it definitely was time for me to move off to the left. And also after several that did not have a human subject, it was time for me to have a human subject again. And so just little things like that. Here's another thing, I definitely did this on purpose, where this is the human is off to the right, this is the text is to the left, so I switched it, and it's a female instead of a male. Text is to the right, and the female is to the or the human character is to the left. Things like that. So as I was moving forward, I was taking advantage of these basic video techniques that engage people, keep them interested, and mix things up so that we're not lulled at any point in the video towards the same thing. Especially since in this case it's about repeating. I'm repeating the verse 3 times in order to aid the memorization. But I wanted to make sure that every time I repeated it, so if I repeated, let's go to the point where this is I think this is repeated. I think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this, there's that thank you right here. So I wanted it to be very different. So this time I used a human character, this time I did not. Just something interest with some character and everything, and also just having the text be in a different spot, and so forth, and take advantage of techniques like that. And just that is in general, I just wanted to get that idea across to you, that when you're using video techniques that can be quick and easy to implement, then it allows you to focus on making your video more effective. And these are just some of the basic things that we're taught in video school. And it's great to be able to focus on doing those, and not have to just be only concerned about just getting the video done at all, because I'm so worried about just learning the technology or figuring out the technology or any kind of problem like that. So it's a good idea, even if you don't use Kinetic Text Animator to do your entire video. The fact that it's easy to do that, and the ability to do quick search for an image and go ahead and use it as the backdrop for the animation, does make for the ability to be more effective in your videos, if it frees you up in order to take advantage of these basic video techniques that make your video more effective. And that's really the core point of what I'm trying to make in this video. So I hope that's valuable to you. Thanks a lot for checking this out.